Okay, ladies and gents, this is the last part of our assessment here, so let's check out how we did with our gridded response. And the reason it says gridded response is because when you take a multiple choice Scantron test and it's an open answer that doesn't have an A, B, C, D, you write it in this box, and you typically would be gridding your answers. But for right now, we're just going to write their answer in the box. Okay? All right, so let's take a peek. Courtney bought 12 pints of orange juice. If there are 8 points in a gallon, that gives us our conversion. How many gallons of orange juice did she buy? So it looks like we're going from pints, and we have to answer in gallons. So this is another direct conversion from 12 pints to a gallon. So if I have 12 pints, we have to transfer that into how many gallons? Well, they told us there's 8 pints in a gallon, and I know that that's true because if we drew our gallon, inside each quart, we drew 2 pints. So if there's 2 pints in a quart, 2, 4, 6, 8, there's 8 pints in 1 gallon. All right, so there's 12 pints. So how many eighths? This is the smaller of the two, is fly to horse, divide, of course. So we have to do 12 and divide it by those 8 pints that are in the gallon. All right, so let's do 12 divided by 8. How many eighths can I take out of 12? 1. So that's 1 gallon, which is equal to those 8 pints. And left over, I have 4 pints. So I know I can get 1 gallon. And then I have these leftover 4 pints. Well, look, 4 pints, 1, 2, 3, 4, is the same thing as a half a gallon because there's a half a gallon left over. So I can write this one of 2 ways. I have 1 gallon and 4 pints. But if you remember when we did our check-ins, I can't use any letters or words or symbols when we're doing our gridded response. So I have to transfer that into a number without any symbols. So how many gallons are there? There's 1.5, which means 1.5. Or, if you remember, I can't write it this way with a mixed number because they won't read it. So I'm going to get rid of that. How else could I write 1.5 without using any spaces? Well, I can turn it to an improper fraction. So 1.5 is 2 times 1 plus 1 is 3 halves. So I could also write it as 3 halves. So any one of these 3 answers is correct. Okay? All right, Jacob. Oh, Jacob Humpfler, you are the star of this problem. Let's see what it's all about. Let me make this bigger again and get it off my channel there. Okay. All right, so Jacob has served 64 cups of juice for breakfast at his restaurant. Congratulations on owning that restaurant, Jacob. 1 quart, I tried to sneak a word in that word, or a number in that word right there. 1 quart is equal to 4 cups. Yep, we know that. That's a conversion. How many quarts of juice did Jacob serve? So we have to change this cups into quarts. They want to know how many quarts. Cups to quarts. 1 quart equals 4 cups. And if you remember, I'm going to go back to this drawing up here. Actually, let's make a new one. Let me hold that under. We're going to make a new one. All right, so we know he's got 64 cups, and we're going to figure out how many quarts that is. So in order to do this direct conversion, we're going to do our drawing again. There's our gallon and our quarts and our pints. And inside each pint is 2 cups. So when it said there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon, or 4 cups in 1 quart, 4 cups in a quart, that is true because here's my quart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cups in that quart. So the cup is smaller than the quart because I can fit them inside. So fly to horse, divide, of course. We're going to take those 64 cups and we're going to put them in groups of 4, which make a quart. So we're going to do 64 divided by 4. Okay, I'm going to do the algorithm way on this one. 4 goes into 6 once. Subtract to get 2. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract, oh good, I have none left over, so I don't have to worry about fractions or decimals. I can get 16 sets of 4 out of these 64. And since a set of 4 cups makes a quart, that makes 16 quarts. If you're going to do this division partial quotients ways, this is what I would do. How many 4s go into 64? Well, I know I can get 10 4s out of there to get 40. And then there's 24 left, and I can get 6 4s out of 24, which makes 24 for none left. Put those together, it equals 16. Same answer. Okay, so 16 quarts. 16 quarts. Excellent. All right, let's go over to number 9. Bentley has a dog pen that's 144 inches long. 144 inches. Here's my conversion. 36 inches equals 1 yard. How many yards is Bentley's pen? So we're taking inches, going to yards. 144 inches equals how many yards? And we know 36 inches makes a yard. So I'm going to take these 144 inches, fly to horse, divide, of course. 144 divided by 36. That's a nice big division problem, huh? All right, let's take it over here. 36 into 144. I'm going to do some trial and error over here, and let's see how many 36s. I'm going to guess 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 9 is 108. I bet you I can get another one in there. Let's do 36 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. 12 plus 2. Oh, how perfect. 4 sets of 36 make 144. Perfect. So I can put that in 4 times. 4 yards equals 144 inches. So if I want to check it, there's my yards times the 36 inches in each one of those yards is 144. So Bentley's dog pen is 4 yards long. And last but not least, we have Celeste. Celeste is walking 24.5 kilometers this week. Oh, good, a fraction. For exercise. Seems like what we've been doing recently. There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. There's our conversion. How many meters did she walk? So we're going from kilometers into meters. All right, so let's do this. 24.5 kilometers equals how many meters? We know there's 1,000 meters in every one of those kilometers. 1,000 of them. So we're going from horse to fly. We're going to multiply because there's more meters than kilometers. So let's just ignore this half for just a second. Let's talk about the 24 kilometers. 24 kilometers times 1,000, because there's 1,000 meters in every kilometer, is going to be 24,000 meters. Now we're going to deal with this half. So if I have a half a kilometer and I'm going to switch that into meters, how many would that be? Well, we just said 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer. So if I only have a half a kilometer, I need to figure out what's half of 1,000. And half of 1,000 is 500. So half a kilometer is 500 meters. So if 24 kilometers is 24,000 and half is 500, 24 and a half, we just have to put those together. 0, 0, 5, 4, 2. 24,500 meters. 24,500 meters. All right. All right, we finally reached the end. You're going to see me. There we are. I hope that was well described and you understand a little bit more and that you did okay. We're going to continue to go back to these kind of questions and do some other practice with them throughout the week, even though we're moving on to geometry. If you got stuck on any one specific problem and you went back and rewatched the video and still had trouble understanding and filling it out, please email me so that I can help you out and be real specific with your questions so that we can go at it. I guess that's all. I hope you have a great weekend and you're working hard, and I will see you again on Monday morning. Have a great weekend.